Racing!
Now, hopefully one gets through.
Oh, it's drama! This is drama! Oh, he's gone! He's gone!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Sector 1. Tonight we are at round 3 in Barcelona for the Group B boys, and it's set to go off tonight on track, I should say. Please welcome into the box. Joining me tonight will be Lucas and D-Flow. How are you tonight, boys?
Good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So we're setting up for a pretty good round, I think. Group A showed up and made a good round of it. Little less mistakes than normal, I guess you'd put down. The stewarding was quite good this week, and a few battles along the way. So hopefully Group B can do the same. And we will be starting off with the not the Supercup. We'll be going with the Porsche Challenge boys, and then moving over to the Porsche Supercup, which Lucas will be commentating. So what we'll do is we'll throw a track map up, and glad to see I can spell. So as you can see, we're at Barcelona in Catalunya, Spain. 4.65 kilometres is the track, 16 corners. It's 6:05 in the morning, so it's pretty early. And we have a 10-minute qualifier, 40-minute race, which is based on the grid, based on qualifying. And we're going to have to use a soft tyre, and a medium has to be used as well, compulsory. So there will definitely be one stop from all the drivers. Anything else you'd like to add to this, D-Flow?
Should be a ripper of a race. We've got some fast and competitive drivers in the field tonight. Let's see what happens. Bring it on.
All right. So before we move on to qualifying, we are going to have a bit of a 1 minute silence for the people down in Tasmania for in the Hillcrest Primary School, I believe it was, with a bit of a tragedy that happened. That's now involving 6 kids, as we found out today, and a bit of a what do you call those jumping castle incidents? So something you never want to see. And anything you'd like to add, Lucas, before we throw up a screenshot?
It's just one of those horrible accidents that happens, and it's good to see the entire community actually of Tasmania and again of the mainland as well have jumped on board and in support. There's a lot of donations been put forward now to help these people out of the worst possible thing you could imagine, losing kids. In what should have been a day of celebration for these kids finishing their primary school careers and moving on to the big school next year. Sadly, not going to make it now, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not the way you want to start the Christmas period, really. So we just our heart goes out to all those people involved. And
So I believe we were looking at maybe doing a 1 minute silence. So we will head off with that now, I believe. Righto, so our hearts are with you, and for the people at the Hillcrest School, we will now get qualifying underway. So when you are ready, D-Flow, we will go and onto the track.
Yeah, qualifying has started.
Alright, let me remember how to do this. First we will need a screen. Okay, so here we go, qualifying, 10 minutes. Let's see how we fare. So whatever you start on in qualifying on your tyre choice is what you should be starting on in the race. So if you want to start on mediums in the race, you have to complete a full lap of the track, come in, change over to softs, and then run your fast ones. And it looks like the Stranger is out in front first.
Got a bit of hustle and bustle a bit further behind. Killer on the loose and Malevolent one are playing for sheep stations more or less at this time of the qualifying session out of pit lane.
Well, 10 minutes, so they have to do a little bit of hustling and bustling. So Malevolent 1 for second. I'm not going to run through the teams, I don't think, tonight. I think everyone's pretty well knows that we've done them for a few years. Not years, seasons, I should say. But I will mention a few along the way. So we have Malevolent 1, one of the newcomers, racing for CJ Esports. Magnet down in... Oh, sorry, Killer. Pressing the wrong button. Killer for Green Beacon. Magnet down in 7th. He's in the Autobahn entry for Lucky's Lawn Care. 8th, we have Garasi, second of the Autobahn entries. 9th, we have Jackery Q, who is a fill-in for Chase tonight and seems to be the one to watch so far in practice. Down in 10th, we have GTP Greatness, so he's been up the front, so he's having a bit of a struggle, I think, a bit of an off-track moment. Down in 11th, we got them off. Aussie Hampton. King Oscar in 12th. Complete Angler for Team 53. Debrev in 13th for the Chill Out Systems, who would be RCLL, Race Cars Like Legends. And in 14th, we have Womble. And this is the second of the Green Beacon car, and he is running a Pacific livery tonight too, I believe, for... I don't have the name on me right now.
Yes, so Red Beam Racing are running a tribute livery in honour of Sir Frank Williams with his recent passing.
That's the one I was looking for. So we can start to see a few of the drivers coming in now to change over from the mediums. The Stranger stays out. See what his first time looks like to the first sector. I probably should bring that up on screen, eh? There we go.
Yeah, so he's done a 30.4 first sector. More or less matched by Maginot. And GTP Greatness has just put in his sector time of 30.1.
Oh, he looks like he's struggling a little bit with the Porsche around here. He's been off the track more than he's been on so far in qualifying.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way, doesn't it? I'm sure he'll get it all sorted come race time, but at the moment at least he's certainly testing the limits, shall we say.
Now, while we're in qualifying, I noticed someone said the voice audio is a tad low, so if you can think of anything or hear something that you think needs to sound better, we can adjust on the fly. Seem to have sorted out a few things today, so hopefully we can keep at it. Alright, Dadson up into 4th. So we're still on our... no, we're not. Yep, first lap. So they're still running around on their first hot laps.
That's right. So first that will be finishing their first flying lap is the Stranger. Oh, he's actually pitting. Okay, that's very interesting. Decided to abort that first flying lap.
Looks like Dadson's gone in a bit deep there. Excalibur's got a 0.3 penalty. All these hurt in the 10-minute qualifying session.
Absolutely.
Pruski in 6th. Alright, Greatness runs the first one with a 150.2.
So he's decided to continue on with his lap as well, despite the error. But I'm sure you'll set a much more competitive time compared to that.
Alright, here's Dadson. Dadson with a... Oh.
So he came in at the end of lap 1 to change his
That's right, yeah.
tyres from the mediums.
We're going to see a bit of this now.
Yes, so there'll be a bit of overlap. Imagine was another one that decided to pit at the end of lap 2, so he's changed onto soft tyres.
Sometimes it's better just to set a lap time so you've got something down in case you have a terrible run for the other 8 minutes.
Absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't hurt sometimes to just set a bank a lap. It may not be the fastest, especially if you're deciding to start the race on mediums, but nonetheless, it is still a bank a lap. Touch wood, something happens. 8 times better than no time.
Alright, so Jackery Q's just gone purple. I'll jump back up the front with greatness. See what his second split time looks like. Oh, he's 5.5 seconds up, so he's on the money. He's found some rhythm. As we say that, he takes a bit to the sand trap.
Commentator's curse.
Oh, he's got a penalty
as well. Oh no.
It's still got to improve his time. He pulls into the pit though.
Yeah, I think it was a wise thing to do with the penalty. There was no benefit to stay out. And well, ironically, we were just talking about bank laps, but I feel like this is the better choice. Get in, change your tyres, prepare for at least one more fly-up.
Oh no, Prua's gone.
Oh. Oh no.
Alright, let's see what the stranger can do. Dadson. Dadson with a 145.3. Straight to the top. 144.5 from Jackery Q. 0.2 up on Grassy's. Grassy's put it down a blistering time as well with a 144.8.
Absolutely, very nice time.
Dobrev moves in with a 45.6, puts him down into 4th. And the Malevolent one sitting in 5th. So we'll see what the he's half a second down on his best time there, the Malevolent one, so he's looking to gain. He's going to have to get some corners and apexes right. Womble sets a 147.0.
So these times are really starting to come in thick and fast at the moment.
Which puts Womble in 10th. I think he's going to be happy not starting off the rear of the grid, I think.
Oh, I think he would be, yes. You know, he was claiming before that he was going to be happy if he just finishes the race, well, other than last. So I think he'll be happy with 10th to start with.
Alright, who else we got? Excalibur. We'll see where Excalibur goes. He'll be hanging around them off somewhere. These two are too tight at the hip, I think. Stranger's off again.
Goodness, that didn't look too good.
Alright, we're coming into the final turns. See if Excalibur can improve on his lap time. He needs to go up a few spots, I think, to catch them off. It's not looking too bad.
Oh, it didn't improve.
Bit deceiving when they're coming towards the finish line there, and you think, oh, that looks all right, and then they're half a second to a second off.
Yeah, it certainly seems the way, isn't it? It's very deceiving. Looks like we've got a lot of the top runners as well coming in. Fresh set of boots for one more flying lap. So it'll be interesting to see how much time improvement can be found with that. King Oscar just sets another time of a 46.2. The Stranger still hasn't set a competitive lap time at the moment, so he needs to have a clutch lap, definitely.
Alright, so Jackery's in, Grassy's is in. Just see a bit more fuel usage from Jackery as he exits the pits. Might jump down to the Moff for a moment, see where he's at.
Just coming through Sector 1 just now. He's coming through the massive sweeper at Turn 3. I do believe he might be on an outlap though.
Yep, yeah, the timing sector didn't show up, so he must be on an outlap. And plus it says on screen outlap, so we'll go with that.
Yes. I'm curious to see if he might actually make it. I think he might just, but gosh, he's leaving it very late, isn't he?
Killer on the loose down in 8th, so he's going to need to put in a clutch lap as well.
Definitely. Just grabbed a bit of that that gravel trap just before, so that might have compromised this sector for him. He's really going to have to make sure he nails this last corner and hope to try and put some effort in towards this last lap. But he doesn't look like he's got a bit of tyre wear, so I'm not too sure he can do it.
All right, I think we're going to get the majority of them come through. We're looking back down to Stranger in 13th, so he's just going to get around. This needs to be the lap he needs to work out proper and put a flyer down. GTP Greatness goes 44.4, puts him up into pole position. Didn't see that one coming.
No, he's pulled that out of nowhere, that's for sure. And currently we're looking at a CP12 for the moment. Jackery hasn't made the next lap, so he's well and truly done. He won't be starting any better than second place.
All right, Dadson for fourth, Grassy's third. Womble goes a 46.9. Debrev in fifth. Good lap from Debrev, and he's still on another lap out. I'll just try and catch the two in front of him, which I believe will be. I'll get there in a second. Here we go. So it's Excalibur. Excalibur's going to cross the line first. Now he's past the second sector and we missed it. He's got Killer right behind him. These two really need to put a fast lap time down to get further up the grid. As we speak, the Moff's 2 spots in front of his Excalibur.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that Excalibur will do much better though. He's got some massive wear on his front tyres, and his sector times don't look too flash, so I think he's not going to improve, but you never know.
Nah, definitely not. Oh, we missed Killer there.
No, he didn't improve as well, I'm afraid.
So we'll jump back up to the front. Here comes the GTP Greatness. Can he improve? Jackery's done. No need to improve if Jackery's done.
King Oscar doesn't improve, nor does Greatness or Debrev.
That'll be qualifying run and done that quick.
Just going to have a quick red flag session as Filthy dropped out during qualifying. So I'm just going to quickly red flag the boys and...
Pruski?
Yes, that's right. Sorry, Pruski, my apologies, not Filthy. Sorry, Filthy, if you're listening and watching. That was Pruski. That's, yes, so we'll just quickly red flag the session and I'll allow him to rejoin.
Righto. All right, let's get some podiums going up on the chat. I reckon it's going to be good to see GTP Greatness have a good outing. Probably hasn't had the best so far. The fill-in from Jackery Q. Unsure of how he drives. He seems like he's pretty quick at the moment, and I'd like to see Datsun get on the podium as well. So they're my three. No specific order, but Datsun for the win because he's a co-team owner.
Well, that'd be the first, if Datsun did take the checkered flag, it'd be the first win in both categories for one round, as far as I'm aware, for Datsun Racing Team. We had Kiwi Raikkonen take the honours in Supercup A, so yeah, who knows, maybe they can be on for another win this round.
Well, it's not like Datsun to say he shouldn't be in Group A. He's always complaining that he's not Group A pace, but he's going to get back there. We can see that today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he'll be one of the dark horses for tonight's victory, 100%.
And while we're waiting, just in the chat, we have the Kazi one, Carbon Boy, Diego, Lenosis, Adam, Karen, Daz 930, and Captain Muffin. Welcome, boys. Oh, and now we've got stickers. So, yeah, I think like what Daz has said there, GTP, if he can keep it on the black stuff, but he certainly showed him, even though he's gone to pole, he's struggled a little bit around here.
Yeah, some that could just be race nerves, I guess. I think we all have that every now and then. It's that pressure of putting in that one lap when it all counts, and in the pursuit of chasing that ultimate lap, we sometimes go above and beyond the limit. But for his sake, I hope that it doesn't happen too much during the... Well, too much, that sounds really wrong. For his sake, I hope it doesn't happen during the race.
Righto. I don't want to touch anything because it's all working, so I'm going to leave it.
So just communicating with Pruski at the moment, I believe he's just trying some troubleshooting on his end to make sure that everything will be okay when he decides to hop in and start from rear of grid.
So here we are, round 3. The race is almost about to happen. It's going to be 40 minutes long, and as you could see, it was going to be based on the qualifying, but I believe we will have a bit of a grid change just due to a dropout from Pruski, and I believe we might have had a few grid spot penalties. I might be wrong there.
Negative on the penalties. Ironically, I jinxed it after the last test start. I said to everyone, assuming no unforeseen issues, we'll be jumping straight into the race after qualifying, but looks like I've given it the good old curse, and unfortunately Pruski had a disconnect during qualifying. So when he's able to rejoin, he'll be starting from rear of grid, and we'll get straight into it.
So the winning tyre strategy, well, from what we've seen, I think it's start on mediums, run them as long as you can. Roughly, I think, is about the 12 lap mark. Jump on your softs, and you might be able to run that home if you're good enough. You must change tyres. You must save fuel, because if you don't, you're going to be putting fuel in and lose spots in the pits. Yeah, but that's about it. A lot of people started on the mediums last round, and I mean, I don't know how they stay on track come the 11 and 12 lap mark.
It does get a bit hairy starting on the mediums. Well, naturally you are slower first and foremost straight off the bat, and obviously naturally. So the winning race strategy last week was to obviously start on the mediums and whatnot, but it does get very hairy. You've got massive tyre wear on the car. The car starts to slide around a lot more than you want or need, for that matter. But with that being said, it's a bit of pain for lots of gain at the end of the race. You end up being on the faster tyre towards the end, and you're able to push a lot more, I wouldn't say safely, but you're able to push the car a lot more on the softs with the lower fuel. Conversely, compare that to the alternative strategy that we saw last weekend, where you had drivers like Speedy Tyres starting on the softs, trying to hopefully use that fresh tyre, or that softer tyre advantage in the first half or first phase of that race. However, on the flip side, when everyone else changed to softs, he was more or less hung to dry on the mediums, and more or less vulnerable for that last stint of the race. So
I was just about to say something along them lines. It was I remember watching TX3. He got pole position, I believe, and he started on the mediums, and he had to get out in front just to you've got to hold up the people on the softs, because they got the faster lap times, and if they get away, and you have to try catch them back up through when you jump on soft stuff. You can hold them up that little bit and just defend as much as you can. I mean, it worked out really well for TX3.
That's right. And yeah, it's you've really got to, exactly. If you're on the slower tyre, you've really got to make sure either A, if you're chasing, you keep up, or B, if you're in front, hold them off for as long as possible. So it's one of the arts, I suppose. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. Apologies to everyone at home. One driver's just having some technical issues. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before they give us the all clear.
It seems to be the thing these days. This internet that we have down in Australia just isn't superb.
Yes, good old Aussie NBN. Fortunately not as reliable as we'd like to hope or want.
Alright, so round 4. We are heading to Maggiora.
Are you looking forward to this one?
No, we're not. We're going to Spa.
Oh, either way, are you looking forward to Spa?
Oh, doesn't bother me, I don't drive.
As a commentator and a spectator, are you looking forward to the racing there?
Yeah, I like Spa, the track itself, and always brings out some good racing.
Oh, I agree. It's a fantastic track to drive on. These Porsches would be very, very nice to drive around there. Look, so far, at least this season, the cars themselves have actually provided some not bad racing. So combine that with a half-decent track as well, I'm sure it's going to be very, very good.
I've had some really good results too at Spa. I think I started second last after the wet qualifying we had there one time, and I was in the GTR, and I ended up coming back to second. But yep, definitely like that track, and I think it's going to bring out some good racing. We've seen last weekend or just around Catalonia that the racing is just getting so much better being the one make. I don't think it's going to be any different go to Spa.
Yeah, I agree. It's, yeah, it'll be very good. I'm really, really looking forward to it as a driver and even as a spectator. It's, yeah. Yeah, as I said before, I'm really looking forward to it.
Then the next problem will be we'll have to try and find commentators.
Yes, that's right. But I'm sure we'll sort something out by then. We always do, so...
Always seems to come together an hour before we start streaming.
Yeah. That's the nature of Sector 1. Okay, so I've just been informed by Prusky that he's unable to get his resolve his mechanical issues. So I will be informing these drivers that we're going to be starting very shortly.
Well, that's not the start that Prusky wanted.
No, definitely not.
Because that means it'll be no points for round 3, sorry.
Yeah, he's let's just say he's gutted, to say the least. He's tried everything possible, and unfortunately, just can't shake the issues. But yikes, yeah. All right, so I just need to alter these event settings so we don't run qualifying again. And
All right, here we go. Let me get into a spectator mode.
Apologies, folks. It seems to have kicked everyone out off the track. Just need to reset the grid. Sorry, Troy.
That's so good.
Of course it has that. This is what happens when you do things live. It's part of the fun, isn't it?
Well, it wouldn't be a Sector 1 stream without something going wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. 100%.
It seems audio's always been a problem. It seems you get that fixed, then your internet doesn't want to work.
Always the way, isn't it? All right,
But,
so I'm just going to...
I think we put our hats off to Prusky. It's a big loss when you get set to race and the internet doesn't want to go, and pretty sure he's a keen racer himself, so he would like to be in this race even though he can't be.
Absolutely. I've been in his position before, and it's not ideal. Yeah, you want to go out there and race. You want to race for your team, your partners, and or your partners on the car, sponsors, and so on. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of those things where you really can't. It's out of your control. It's as simple as that. Doesn't make it right, but yeah, there's only so much you can do. Oh, it looks like it's undone the grid order. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. Just going to double check that the grid order is correct. I do not want someone starting 10 places higher than they actually should have been. So
I've got Killer on my screen is not entered yet.
Okay, that makes sense. That explains why I was one person short. Okay, I'm just going to message him and let him know that he needs to enter the track so we can formally set the grid.
I think he might have just done it.
No worries. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this one more time. I do not want anyone starting out of position.
Now, normally we would have, up by round 3, team points, combined points, all the driver points, but this time of year, I suppose everything's a little bit crazy, and all you got to do is jump on our website, which I don't know if it'll come up, but it'll come up in a second if it does. Nope, doesn't want to work. So another glitch that we don't have working. Stream Deck doesn't want to do the like and subs.
Standard thing, as always. Okay, so we are ready to race. I'm going to get this race rocking and rolling. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Catalunya, round 3, Group B. This is the Porsche Challenge, boys. Let's see what can happen. GTP Greatness and Jackery off the front row. We'll jump on with 4th. So we're with Dadson. Can't see any lights yet.
There we go, they've come on now.
We're away. Looks as though Greatness gets a bit of a wheel spin. Jackery's going to get the lead into the first corner here.
Certainly does, side by side. It seemed like Jackery got the better second phase of that start. There we go, well and truly clear into turn 1. Oh, bit of argy-bargy back there at the back. Back there at the back, that sounds really stupid, doesn't it? Excalibur just got a bit sideways coming into turn 1. Managed to keep a hold of it though, thankfully.
Alright, we're all getting into a bit of a line as we speak. We're 3 corners in, nearly 4. Starting to find their own rhythm.
Jackery's got a nice handy lead, or not really handy per se, but he's got a nice little buffer between himself and Greatness, so he's well and truly shot off at the start.
Oh, here's Dadson. Dadson's already making the move. He's up to second.
Well done. Oh, a bit of a touch though on the overlap. Managed to hold on to it though.
Alright, you got to watch that curb too on the inside there. You can catch a penalty.
Yeah, it can be very brutal if you take it the wrong way. Not only will it spin you sideways, it'll also give you a penalty to boot.
GTP Greatness, has he got anything for Dadson down the back corner? He gets through. Here comes Grassy's as well. He's
Really trying to make the most of it.
Seen an opening and he's taken 3rd position. Oh, Dadson snapped it back. Just see in the background there, King Oscar's getting a little bit impatient as well.
We've got just about, well, interestingly, we have Jackery and Greatness both on softs, so hence the pace advantage compared to Dadson, who's on mediums. Just about everyone else in the field, except Womble, starting on soft, is also on, so my apologies, Womble, Jackery and Greatness all on softs, everyone else starting on mediums.
Well, that's not too bad of a sign. We do know that Jackery Q is from the Community Series. We're not quite sure on his pace, but obviously it's pretty quick. In practice, he was putting down some super fast lap times. Greatness in second, who's got off to a good lead, and as you mentioned, he's on the racing softs. So they're going to slowly pull away from Dadson and Grassy's. And this is where Dadson and Grassy's really need to drive their car to a number. Make sure they don't use too much fuel, look after their tyres, and they will come out of the pits just fine with Jackery Q and Greatness.
Correct. More importantly, they will need to work together. They can't afford to lose too much time holding each other up. If they hold each other up, trying to fight for position, lose half a second here, half a second there, before they know it, Greatness and Jackery are going to be 30-odd seconds down the road, and that pace advantage towards the end is going to be null and void.
Now let's hope that Jackery Q's been told about the compulsory mediums to use too, which I'm sure he would have. King Oscar's been shuffled back to 6th. He's now got Excalibur looking pretty antsy right behind him.
Yeah, he's snapping at his heels more or less. He's gonna be one to watch out for if he's not careful.
So Excalibur, Dobrev had a pretty good qualifying year. I think he qualified 5th. He's been shuffled back to 8th. Malevolent one down in 9th. Looking for a bit of an overtake. I think Dobrev is here.
Yeah, Malevolent One's just running side by side with Dobrev. Looks like you more or less have him into turn 1, and there we go. Dobrev's just backed out of that. Smart thing to do, and sure enough, Malevolent One's just gone off in an attempt to overtake. So, Dobrev, Mr. Nostradamus, as a certain Mark Scaife would say.
Well, we'll see if we can catch it on the overplay, the replay. So Malevolent One just looks like he's outbraked himself.
More or less, yeah.
Dirty tyres, so you got to be careful with the dirty tyres. And then we got the Moth down in 12th. Now I was thinking in qualifying, the Moth might be further up the grid, but seemed to have fallen back a fair ways, and he's got Killer right behind him.
Give it some time. I'm sure the Moth will. Yeah, I was a bit surprised, to be honest, but give it there's still 35 minutes left in this race, so I wouldn't rule him out just yet.
Slipstream plays a big part in the Porsche.
It really does. The main straight, it's gosh, I've gone blank. Sorry. If you can work going back to what I was alluding to before between Gracies and Dadson, if you can work together, you can even use a bit of bump draft to help improve your lap time and your race time overall. But once again, it depends if the other person you're fighting is willing to work with you.
We might just jump on board again with Killer, and you'll be able to see how much of an effect, or maybe it looks like he's might be within slipstream range. Yep, you'll be able to see how much of an effect it has. As you'll see down the straight here, 0.6 behind, he's already halfway there.
That's right, he's going to get a potentially double overtake. Oh no, he's chosen to stick. Oh, he's backed out of that.
Probably wise.
Oh, he's just run a fraction too wide, but he's managed to hold on to it though on the outside of Malevolent One. Lost a bit of time overall to the Moth though.
Alright, we'll jump back up the front. So we have Jackery Q's out to 4.5 second lead. He is running the softs. He will have a faster car, but he does have to put the mediums on.
That's right. Also interesting to note, they've burnt a fraction more fuel than those behind him, so that alone will mean more or less a longer pit transit. Sorry, it will. There's a very high likelihood that they will have to take on more fuel at their pit stop as well, so that's going to yield a slight time loss.
I tell you what, he's pulled a sizable gap even on GTP greatness, so there's a fair amount of speed difference there.
That's right, absolutely. So Jackery's last two laps are a 44.9 and a 44.7 respectively, compared to greatness with a 46.1 and a 45.6. So there's a massive pace advantage currently at the moment.
So then we have Grassy's down in third, who Dadson's not letting go, but the in a little bit of an autobahn sandwich at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. So Dadson and LLCR once again fighting again. So he's just gonna. It's probably not the best place to be in though. You've got.
Oh, Dadson.
Just ran a bit wide, kicked up a bit of gravel. Maybe it's a James Bond sort of rear of car trick, throw a few stones up towards Baghdad and let him back off a bit.
You can see that Magnet's just outside the toe there. Dadson was able to pull a second, or pull the gap out to a second and catch up to Grassy's.
Oh, Magnet just got sideways coming out trying to follow though, so hold on to it, son.
Now, turn 3 is another big section of the track that can gain some really good time. I found a few laps I did here a week or so ago that just the entry and exit of it, you can have an early entry and a late exit, and it seems to really keep the car speed up.
That's right. It's because it's such a long radius corner as well. You've really got to set up the corner miles before you even get to it. So you've really got to approach it in such a way that you're thinking 200-300 meters down the road, so to speak, making sure that you can get the most optimum line coming through. I've seen some people last week that were running a really wide line on the outside, just hugging the outside line. However, you really need to be careful if you grab some of that green assurance. If you grab too much of it, the game will give you a penalty though.
They always hurt.
That's right. It's one of those risk versus reward things. I'll tell you now, I actually did it myself last week and I copped a half-second penalty as a result. So One of those risk versus reward things.
All right,
My
so
goodness. Jackery Q's just... Apologies, I'm talking over there. You go.
I'm just about to say Excalibur's looking like he's coming under fire now from King Oscar and Dobrev.
Yeah, it's certainly closed up between them, hasn't it?
Just seems like one big train at the moment. There's not much going on.
Not yet, anyway.
So King Oscar, he's in the tow, and he's got Dobrev behind him. So the King Oscar's really, really struggled at Willow Springs, from memory. Seems to have caught a bit of a second wind here.
Yeah, he had a very tough race. He had a very tough race last round at Willow Springs. I had a few offs and whatnot, and I'm sure it would have dented his confidence a fraction, but he seems to have turned around very well. Currently running 7th, so good on him.
Prusky's asked if we can just restart the race because it's all working fine now.
Yeah, I'll pull the plug on the PS4 and we'll see how we go. What do you reckon?
All right, so down further, Womble in 9th. So he's amongst the pack now. He's slowly making his way to the front. Stranger down in 10th. And the Moth in 11th. So the Moth's still hanging around Killer. Killer and the Moth are just following each other around tonight. The Malevolent...
Yeah, they seem to be in tandem at the moment, like they're stuck or like with a tow rope or something. Or, yeah. Oh, so we've got a spinner. The red's just gone round at the hairpin.
Don't know if I'm going to find it. Go to the back. 13. We're not going to get this. We'll try though. Oh, he's just had maybe a bit of a tap there from Womble. Nice re-entry. Waited for the cars to pass.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure he'll be gutted about that. That's. I wouldn't say race run, but Yokes is a good 8.5 seconds off the back of Malevolent one in P12. So he's just going to get his head down. He'll have some tyre wear from the spin and the subsequent rejoin. You know, just trying to realign the car with the racetrack, so to speak. But head down, get on with it. You never know what happens. You might do better than you think.
Well, I'm just back up the front now with Jackery Q. 7.5 seconds to the lead. Started to think this bloke knows how to drive.
Certainly does. Looking at his lap times, his slowest lap time thus far was lap 6 with a 1:45.1. So he's certainly not struggling for pace, that's for sure.
We just see him come across the split there. He's only 0.2 off his best lap too, so that's still indicating another 44.
Yeah, he's well and truly, at the moment at least, he's well and truly braining him.
We got Mr. Bumcracks in the chat. Good evening, Mr. Bumcrack. Hope all is well. Alright, GTP greatness slowly falling back to Jackery Q. The two are on the softs, the two front runners. 8, nearly 9 seconds back to Grassy's. And I'd say the Grassy's, Dadson and Magnet are probably in the 45s, nearly 46s.
Yes, currently at the moment they're just starting to dip into the 47s actually, Grassy's, Dadson and so on. So they're really starting to hurt with those racing medium tyres. Oh, Grassy's has a penalty. Decided to burn that very late as well on the front straight. Oh gosh. Slight contact between Magnet and Dadson. I think Dadson's checked up trying to make sure he didn't drill Grassy's on the approach to turn 1 as well. So that could have been very hairy.
Yeah, poor Dobrev. He's had a few good finishes lately, and it's sad to see. I know exactly how it feels because I'd had a couple of seasons like this. But it's sad to see you being in such a good spot to fall back.
It is. But look, knowing Dobrev, he'll just put his head down and get on with it. We got the first about Pitters as well. Womble's just come in for a fresh set of boots, switched to the medium tyres, and just topped up the tank as well. So that was at the end of lap 7. Those playing at home. So
Womble is more than likely going to be on the 2-stop strategy.
I would assume so. It's going to be a very, very tough job to do another 16, 17 laps like 16 laps on a set of mediums. That's going to be a very tough call. So that's more or less committing to a two-stopper unless he's got a magic setup in the car that makes him not choose those mediums.
Now, Dobrev, who we were just talking about, sitting in 12th, not where he wants to be. He's had a few good races, like I was saying, this season already, and this is going to hurt.
Yeah, it will. But yeah, you just it's very easy in moments like these to get very rolled up, and yeah, it's very easy to be very annoyed and distracted by the whole scenario, and it just becomes downhill. It's like going off a cliff. It's just all downhill. But he needs to reset and refocus and just get on with it, as blunt as that may sound.
So we're on lap 9. We're going to start to see the tyres on Jackery Q and Greatness start to hurt from about now. Grassies, depending on how long they run, Grassies and Datsun might bring that time difference down a little bit, but if they pit, it's going to all be up to who's looked after their car the best.
That's right, and actually looking at some of the lap times on the top few compared to soft.
Oh, Jackery Q's off. He's just run wide.
My goodness.
We caught that all on camera.
On that front. Got that. Sorry, I think I'm that excited. I can't even speak properly. He's actually got a bit of damage to the front right corner of that car as well. So that's really going to hurt. He's run wide into the hairpin too.
All right, let's see what's GTP going to do. Is he going to sit behind, or is he going to try and make this make a move?
Oh, he's got to go for it. He's got to go for it. I'm sure he doesn't know that the car's damaged, but he has to go for it. He can't afford to stick around any longer.
Here's 2 cars from CP though. There might be maybe some orders. Don't damage the vehicles. Doesn't matter now with Jackery Q. His front end's all smashed in.
Yeah, so to need another front bar and a fresh coat of paint as well. So I'm sure the CP boys will fix it up in no time.
I can tell you what. If you're Grassies and Datsun at the moment and you're looking at the 14-second deficit, you're thinking to yourself, how do I come back from that? But they've got to they just got to realise they've got to jump on the softs yet, and if they can pull the same kind of lap times, they can gain that time back up.
That's right, and it's one of those things, as we discussed earlier, taking your medicine now and reaping the benefits later. Whereas Jackery Q and Greatness are naturally doing the opposite. But let's see how it plays out.
But what they're not realising is Jackery Q was another nearly 9 seconds ahead of Greatness, so that's just bringing it right back down to GTP Greatness's speed and position.
That's right. But with that being said, it might be the carrot that needs to be dangled for Grassies and Datsun to say, hey, you know what? We're not seeing it right now, but let's see what happens at the end of the race.
They might have seen something maybe up on the track map on the top of their screen, but that's if they're concentrating up there.
That's right, absolutely. And I'm sure everyone else in the field too, even aside from those in the top 5, everyone else will be looking at that too.
Grassies is looking pretty smooth tonight.
Yeah, he seems to be doing a great job thus far compared to the others around him. Maginot's got a penalty.
Oh, I can't see it on my screen, but he's pulling over.
Yep, so he's just burnt that now. I was just about to comment on their tyre wear. Grassy seems to be one of the better ones on the mediums, with the exception of King Oscar. They seem to be the top, the better drivers on the tyres at the moment thus far. So that gives them a bit of flexibility naturally to run the extra lap potentially, or even just extract more pace out of it without much of a penalty. Well, the Stranger and Excalibur are still at it. Back there in P8 and P7 respectively.
I was just watching onto Grassy's Magnet then, because he ran the curb pretty full on then, and I thought he might have got a penalty, but it looks like he got away with it.
Well, I'm sure he'd be having a sigh of relief over that. Didn't need 2 penalties in 1 lap. Now that's actually cost him a fair bit. He's well over 2 seconds now off the back of Datsun, so that's really hurt. And it comes to show what we were discussing before in the race, Troy. These penalties are brutal. They may only be half a second, but the time loss, by the time you pull over, slow down, burn it, and get back up to racing speed, it really costs you.
Well, I'm just looking on track now, and The Moff and Excalibur are back at it again, and the Moff is winning the race.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be inside their respective cars. I'm sure they'll be having a nice giggle about this. They're looks like they're having a massive amount of fun, having a nice battle like that.
And then down in 10th, we got the Malevolent one. He's had a bit of a slow start, but he's pulling the lap times back, and he's getting it done. That's another curb there too. You can run a bit too shy and grab yourself a penalty.
That's right. It can be very costly if you're not careful. I believe we should say there we go. Front runners are in. Jackery and Greatness are in on a lap 11.
All right, so we have back to Grassy's. Well, 15 seconds. Grassy's will get past them. It's now these laps that Grassy's, Dadson and the Magnet need to make work the best.
That's right. This is where they really need to get their head down. Have one last push lap before they hop in and get into the pits and change for the soft tyres.
And we just hit the halfway mark of the race, so they'll push another couple of laps yet, and then they'll pull in for some soft racing tyres and go at it.
That's right. And just seeing Greatness come out of the pits, he's just come out in front of the Stranger and the Moth in P5, so he was very lucky to not get caught up behind. Whereas Jackery Q took on a bit more fuel as a result of burning more in that first stint. He's actually come out behind the Moth and the Stranger. So that may be that may decide the race.
Well, this is all going to play in part for Grassy's and Dadson. With the lap traffic they're going to have to get around, it's going to cause them time loss. Once Dadson and Grassy's pull into the pits, they're going to be coming back out in clean air again because they're all on the same pit strategy as everyone else. So it should work out well for Dadson and Grassy's.
That's right. Well, looking at the pit delta though, my apologies, someone's burning a penalty as well. That's Magnet again. Oh no, he'll be hating himself for that.
I did see Magnet struggling around a few of the corners a little bit earlier. He's also got King Oscar now, who's right on his bumper. Yeah, it looks like CP going for the one stop. Lucas.
There we go. Grassy's is coming in. Oh, big slide on the entrance to the pits. Looks like Dadson's going to stay up for the extra lap, but I'm not sure that's going to work. The undercut will play into the hands of Grassy's.
All right, everyone's coming in. So Dadson going for the extra lap. This may play into a little bit of better tyre wear for the softs coming the end of the race.
It may, but the undercut will mean that unless Grassy's makes a mistake, Dadson will come out more or less behind. Dadson will be coming up behind Grassy's after these pit stop cycles.
All right, let's jump back with Grassy's. We can find him, see where he comes out.
Just coming out of the pits now. He's got a 2.5 second buffer to Killer on the Loose out in front, who Killer on the Loose hasn't stopped yet, so I think that's a bit of a buffer at the moment. He won't get too affected by that.
So 28.5 seconds to Dadson as we said. Dadson yet to pit. This will be interesting to see if Dadson can put out a flying lap, going for the overcut.
Yeah, if he can make it work, he'll be laughing in his helmet, as obviously he'll have one lap fresher tyres against Grassy's, and naturally that's one lap less that he has to do on that set overall. So he'll be laughing inside if he can make it work.
So you can already see Dadson, even though he's still on the mediums. Looks like it's taking a little bit for the mediums to warm up for GTP Greatness now, because the time was out to 2 seconds before. It's now out to 3.2. So once the tyres warm up, it might equalise, but I think Dadson will be in.
Yeah, he has to come in. There we go. He's just inching over into the pits now. So that leaves Greatness out in front. On corrected order, he'll be in first position.
All right, we're nearly at the 16-minute mark. GTP Greatness and Jackery Q for CP Motorsports are just killing it on everyone tonight.
Yeah, they seem to have put the CP stamp on this race, haven't they?
And Grassy's 19 seconds behind this, but Grassy's now on the softs. Let's see if he can reel that in. It's a big gap to reel in though.
It is, but as we have alluded to before, he will be on the better tyres, so there will be, in theory at least, there will be a time benefit for Grassy's to be on that better tyre at the end.
Alright, so Magnet has got past. Oh no, Magnet hasn't pit yet.
He has actually pitted at the end of lap 12 following Grassy's, so corrected. That extra lap has really hurt Datsun at the moment, at this stage of the race at least. It has really hurt Datsun. He's a second behind Magnus, so that's at least a 3-second swing just with that extra lap.
Alright, looks like King Oscar's maybe been hurt by the pit stop as well.
Yeah, he seems to be in a bit of no man's land at the moment. He's got a 3-second gap to Datsun and a 4-second gap to the stranger behind him in 7th. So it seems to be that he's just had a few. His lap 10 and lap 11 were really, really bad. So I assume it was just those medium tyres screaming for a bit of mercy.
Then we move down to the stranger in 7th position. Second of the about to say CP then, the complete Angler cars for Team 53. Stranger got off to a good start in qualifying, but he's really struggled throughout the race.
Yeah, his race pace hasn't been too flash. Once again, he really suffered on the end of that stint with the medium tyres. He was in the high 49s towards the end of his first stint. But with that being said, his first flyer on the softs was a high 44. So keep an eye out. I'm sure he'll have some pace to burn, that's for sure.
All right. The Moth and Excalibur, they've got someone in between them, but I'm sure we'll see these two come together before the end of the race, which is Malevolent one in between them, I'll add. So
Yeah,
down in 11th, Womble. Probably not the best result Womble wants, but he's out there. His PlayStation 5's not playing up as we speak, so he's probably happy just to be there.
That's right, fingers crossed, and I'm sure he's not at the moment at least. I hope I don't give him the commentator's curse, but he's currently not running last, so that alone is something. He'll be happy with that.
And Debrev and Killer on the loose, rounding out the top 12 and 13. We'll jump back up to the front because Jackery Q has lost first position, so he took on more fuel in the pit stop, but can he catch greatness?
Interesting to see. He had the better tyre life on the softs. He did use the car a bit more. He did use more fuel, keeping that pace advantage up. But interestingly, he was using less of the tyres compared to Greatness. So if that carries over onto the medium tyres, we might actually catch up to Greatness and have another crack at him. So that lap was a 45.3 for Jackery compared to a 46 for Greatness. So yeah, very interesting.
Now that's still a fast lap time for a medium tyre, considering that the fastest lap of the race is only a 44.7, so if you're running a 45.3, you're only half a second off.
That's right, and there we go. Speaking of fastest lap, Grasses has just crossed the line with a 44.5 on the soft tyres.
So he's bringing that 20-second gap down to... Oh no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. It's now 21 seconds, but he's 19 seconds to Jackery Q, so... It is coming down slowly, but he needs to get a move on.
That's right. At this stage, it does seem to be that gap might be out of grasp, but as we saw before, one small error cost Jackery 9 seconds on that lap. So, never say never. I'm sure Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton will attest to that too. Oh, Datsun's just gone purple in the first sector as well. So these soft tyre runners are really going to start setting some scintillating pace.
As you can see, the helicopters are flying around. They don't want to give us any camera angles though.
No, sadly not. We'll have to wave a few 50s at him. What do you reckon?
50s are hard to come by these days.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, maybe 100 then.
So the King Oscar, 4.5 seconds behind Magnet. It's him and the Stranger working simultaneously in 6th and 7th spot. Both the cars look pretty good on track together. There are definitely some bright colours.
Definitely. So just keeping an eye on the battle with Magenet and Dadson. I believe that Dadson's got him past the Magnet too. I think Magnet's had a really poor lap, so that battle's just swings and roundabouts, ebbs and flows. That's going to be very interesting between them two.
So as we sit, there is the whole front straight of a gap between second and third, Jackery and Grassies. It's back.
Yeah, well,
he's definitely pulling them in. It's gone from 21 seconds back down to 20 and a half, so it's coming in. He's just got to start putting in some consistent fast laps to try and reel in.
That's right. It's bit by bit. You never know what's going to happen. Head down, press on with it. The Brev going back to the back of the field. Wombles looks like he's struggling a bit on these medium tyres. He's actually got the Brev right behind him in P12. So the Brev, in theory, being on the quicker tyres, should be able to ease past Womble, but knowing Womble, I don't think he'll give it up just easily. Got some interesting battles at the back though. Excalibur, Malevolent One and the Moth are still fighting it out back in 8th, 9th and 10th as well.
Can hear the tyres squirming. They don't like it.
No, they certainly don't. These cars like to be driven in a very precise way, so you can't throw them around. And we've actually got the King Oscar in the gravel trap.
Oh no. See if we can catch it. I think we're going to get this one. So he's just touched the grass on the curb. We've seen that from Diego in the Supercup cars last weekend. I tell you what, you got no chance once your car starts sliding at them speeds.
That's right. And that's the thing with these rear-engine Porsches too. Once they go, they are gone. You've got a very minimal chance of catching these things once they slide. So yeah, you got to really hold on to them and make sure that they don't slide too much in the first place.
I was just reading the chat there that they'll be the CP team helicopters.
It could be. Maybe that's why we haven't got footage of them.
All right, starting to see Jackery Q now start to rein in on GTP greatness. It's down to 1.2 seconds. Yeah,
it's really this is going to heat up 100%. You know, their last lap times were more or less identical between Greatness and Jackery, only 600ths of a second between the two on lap 17. So this is going to be very good.
You can really hurt the tyres too. Like, even though they're mediums and they're supposed to last longer, if you drive the hell out of the car, they're going to burn faster. So there's no point really pushing the car until you really need to.
That's right, exactly. And the way it's going, Jackery could actually get into the slipstream range as well. That alone is going to drag him along even closer to Greatness. So if Greatness isn't careful, it's just going to snowball, and they're going to be CP cars bumper to bumper.
I suppose once they do catch up to each other, they still have to work together for it to not hinder the gap back to Grassies, because we've seen that many times before.
That's right, exactly. It's look, I'm sure they're smart enough to know that, look, realistically, the 18-second gap back to Grassies, it's, unless something wild happens, I don't think they're gonna lose 18 seconds in 7 minutes. But you never know. Anything can happen.
Now the one we want to see step up is Datsun in 4th.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually gap magnet too, so seems Magnet's struggling on these soft tyres.
Yeah, well, they're going to burn out really quick too. If you're driving it bad, but 20 minutes on a soft tyre is a long stint.
It really is.
Sorry, go.
No, it's right. You go. After you.
I was going to say, you come to the end of that stint. I mean, the car's like trying to drive on ice.
That's right. It's almost like driving. So for those who have watched us previous seasons, it was like the Ferrari back in season 2. It was very tail happy, and good luck to you once it started getting out of it.
Let's not go there or even think about the Ferrari. Definitely one of the worst seasons I could have been part of, I think.
You had some pace when the car was straight, so I don't think it was that bad for you.
Well, if only we went to the test track that's got the 4K, 4 kilometre long straights.
Special stage Route X from the sounds of it then.
That's it. You know when you're trying to think of things and you just can't think of them on the spot when you need to. Oh no, Greatness has got a penalty. He's going to have to pull over here. This is going to allow Jackery to go straight past.
I was just actually following Jackery on board with his car. And I was just about to mention that he had a 1 second gap. He would most likely be in slipstream range, but that's game over.
Yeah, I don't think you're catching Jackery Q from here.
No.
I mean, it's still 5 minutes, and we've seen him make a mistake in the first stint, so anything can happen. But
right.
He's definitely got the pace.
That's right. And it was just mentioned in chat by Atom as well. Funnily enough, just as I glanced over to see the penalty, that Jackery's going to blow by if he's not careful, and sure enough, he actually did.
All right, back to third. The softs are probably playing havoc now as you see Grassy's get a little taily coming out of the second corner.
Interestingly though, their soft lap times by Grassy's, Dadson, Magnet, Stranger, and all the way down the rest of the order, they're actually still lapping slower than Jackery or Greatness, despite being Jackery and Greatness are on the medium tires, and they're actually still lapping faster than everyone else in the field. Very interesting.
You can get set into a rhythm sometimes where you're just happy to be doing the lap times you're doing as well.
That's right. And I guess it depends on car preference too. You might prefer the car to slide around a bit more in the mediums as well. But it just seems like everyone else just can't keep up pace-wise on these soft tyres.
So Malevolent One's had a pretty good back half of the race. He's made his way back to 8th. He was down in 12th.
Greatness has spun. Sorry, Troy. Greatness has spun.
Oh, let's see if we can grab it. This looks like it's going to be a bit of a sand trap issue. All right, how close can Grassy's get now? Oh, I tell you what, he's caught that back straight and pretty fast. Didn't lose too much time.
No, Greatness only lost 5 seconds. Well, my apologies. He lost about 7 seconds on that lap. But it's funnily enough, it's one of those dangling the carrot sort of situations for Grassy's. I don't think he's got enough, but he might see that gap and go, come on, we've got to keep pushing. So, yeah, they've got to be really careful.
Well, normally when you crash in a race, you're down the back of the field and struggling to catch up. So they're that far in front, they can spin out, get back on track, still hold their position.
Exactly. So yeah, they just need to reset, much like what I was mentioning before with Debrief. You know, Greatness just needs to reset, regain focus, you know, and decide whether he wants to try and bring that gap down, which I don't think will happen in 3 minutes, or he just consolidates with second.
Just jump back down to killer at the moment. There's him and Debrief look like they're having a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, lap times seem to be pretty close between them two, so they've been keeping each other honest, let's just say, for the last couple of laps.
Oh, I can also see a couple up further who we got. The track map looks closer than it is on screen, but
the Moff and Stranger are still at it, believe it or not. They seem to have dropped Excalibur though, but otherwise they've been hammer and tong the whole race.
Oh, we've got 2 minutes left. I think Jackery Q's probably got this in the bag without having a mistake. He certainly has enough to just back off now and bring the car home safely.
That's right, and the fuel lights just come on in Jackery's car too. I'm sure they know their numbers at CP, and that's not a dig at Deeds either. But I'm sure they know their numbers. They'll be, hopefully, for his sake, I'm sure they'll be able to make it home as well.
So I believe you can get 2 laps on the fuel light.
Yeah, more or less about 2 laps, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
And we are cutting it close.
The Stranger's spun, so there goes that fight between himself and the Moff. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get in anyone's way on the rejoin either. Stays out of everyone's way, well done.
Yeah, you can get 2. I think you can get 2 laps out of the fuel light, but I'm not sure if this is going to go maybe into the 3rd lap because it was right on the 4 minute mark.
That's right. He'll more or less get a 23rd lap in, so I think you'll still have enough fuel.
Jump back up the front. So we're starting to see Womble. What's Womble doing? He's pulling over to let him through. Womble's had enough of this race by the look of it.
Certainly seems like it.
Alright, so we will have one lap after this one.
Yeah, so 8.5 seconds between Jackery and Greatness in P1 and P2. Unless something wild happens, that's going to more or less be a CP1-2 for Group 3, Round 3. Sorry, Group B, Round 3 of the GT3 Challenge.
Alright, so 30 seconds left on the timing board. Jackery Q has got first position. He's out in front by 9 seconds. Greatness crosses the finish line. He's in second, who is now 14.5 seconds ahead of Grassy's in third. Following Grassy's is Dadson. Dadson's going to be happy with a fourth, but I'm sure he would have been much happier with a step on the podium. Magnet down in fifth. Sixth will see the Moff. Good finish, good strong finish from the Moff too.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be happy with that. I think we commented earlier that he'll be one to watch out for. You know, he'll get his head down and get on with it.
Oh, there we go. The race is over for a few. Magnet.
That's right.
The Moff goes over the finish line. Malevolent One. King Oscar. Stranger and Excalibur are racing to the line. They're going to take 9th and 10th. 11th we're going to see Debrev, who's got Killer on the loose, who's been there for a few laps now.
He has just missed out. I reckon if they had that final 23rd lap, I think Killer on the loose might have had him. So a very close race in between all them.
And Womble, but back up the front. 4 of them are still racing. Anything can happen still. We've got a few corners to go.
Yeah, we've already seen the front runners do a few 360s and some stunt moves, let's just call it that. But yeah, with 2 corners left. They've more or less got it in the bag. I'll leave this one to you.
Alright, so Jackery Q, the community fill-in for Chase tonight. He's come from the community, made everyone look a little bit silly tonight, takes first place after 40 minutes. Second, GTP Greatness, probably his best race of the season so far. Taking home second and a silverware. Grassy's for Auto 1 and the Lucky's Lawn Care Boys will take home the finishing notch on the podium in third, which is going to leave Dadson 4th position. He's going to be happy, but he'll maybe stepping up to Group A for round 4. We'll see how the points go. So Jackery Q, the big winner for tonight. Pruski saying in the party chat there that CP are lucky I wasn't there to spill the rigged party cake.
Oh, bang, bang. Oh, shots fired.
All right, let's enter some drive of the days while we're here. I think it's hard to say on this one. I think Grassy's just holding on to third. I think the 2 boys have been in front and were practicing really well there.
Yeah, I'd say...
I should say had been practicing this week to make it that the speed they had tonight. But yeah, I think it'd be Grassy's or Datsun will take drive of the day for me.
Yeah, absolutely. My 2 choices, I'm actually split between 2 at the moment. It would most likely be between Dadson or the Moff. So...
Moff is probably another one, yeah, too. 6th place finish, not too bad.
Yeah. Very slow start, was more towards the back half of the field, and just very quiet race, but got himself back into 6th place. So that's well done on him. Well done to him, I should say.
What I can see in chat so far is Dadson looks like he's winning the driver of the day. Yeah,
absolutely. Certainly seems like that. We've got the good doctor, Lenosis, and Karen thus far voting for Dadson as driver of the day.
All right, I'm going to exit your room and head over to Lucas in the Supercup boys. I've just saved the replay so we can get some photos later on. But not the most racy of races, but yeah, Jackery Q and Drayton just definitely had the speed tonight, and good to see Grassy's and Dadson just bring home the podium. Jackery Q maybe a little bit of a step ahead above the rest. He was definitely pulling some fast lap times.
Absolutely. No, it was a great racing from everyone. It was seemed to be a battle pack everywhere across the field, which was nice.
Well, it's definitely Dadson that's won the driver of the day, because it's Dadson all the way down the screen. Okay, so we headed over to the Good Doctor's room. If you can jump back in the box, you are quite welcome, Lucas.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. Just got our grid up. So NASCAR has actually made it back into the grid tonight. He was actually going to step out tonight due to commitments elsewhere, but he's got home early, so he's back on, ready to go. So he'll be starting from the back of the field after not making any of the test starts.
There's a keen racer.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think there will be a red flag tonight post qualifying, because race fans got a 2 grid stop penalty. I don't remember why. Sorry.
I think.
Otherwise, everybody else is free to qualify. We've got DeBrev standing in for Cruising tonight, the Maverick, as well. So he's doing double duty, coming off just racing in the other room. So he's in here now. So his car's still warm.
Well, he had a pretty good first race. He had a little bit of a mistake, put him to the back of the field. But other than that, he was driving the car really good. So interesting to see how he goes with the big boys. So we're just waiting on DeBrev. He's in there. So.
He's in. I just gave him a 2-minute warning. Apparently, Lenosius has throttle issues, which is interesting.
Well, we also have Mr. Bumcrack stepping in for the Ghost tonight. Unable to make the race, so we'll see how he goes in the Supercup boys.
Well, he's currently P2 on the road at the moment in practice, so he's been up around the pointy end. Tell you what, your 2 challenge drivers have been in phenomenal form this season.
Yeah, they have. Both Bumcrack and the Good Doc are Good Doc, I should say. Bad Doc and Mr. Bumcrack, they've been really good the last couple of seasons, to tell you the truth. I think Bad Doc struggled in the M6, probably got him to back into the challenge side of things, but other than that, he's definitely got the Porsche sorted.
Yeah, Bad Doc loves to come good when he's not racing with Blacklight. He had a really strong season at CV, then come back to Blacklight and had a bit of a quiet one, and then went to Ragged Edge and starts winning again. Fair dinkum, supposed to be a mate. What's going on? Alright, let's get these guys underway for some qualifying, shall we?
Sounds good to me.
They're all on track, so I'm just going to send them off now. They can deal with it themselves. So everybody will qualify as per normal, except for NASCAR, who will do a slow lap and be on the back of the field for the race, and Race Fan has a 2 GPP for the start, so we'll red flag after qualifying.
Alright, I'm just going to potentially chuck some of the sound levels up a bit. Hopefully they get us right into the good range.
Alright, so I'm just looking at the tyres at the moment. So Bumcrack's on softs. What else have we got going on here? So Bumcrack on softs. Old Wakey on softs. That's it. So Bumcrack and Wakey, the only 2 guys that can start the race on softs. Everybody else has to start on mediums.
Alright. I'm not sure the plan of Mr. Bumcrack's of getting softs on first, maybe trying something different, but see how it goes. So we have Knuckles out in front. I should probably put some cars on screen. How's that, Morgan? Have we got better sound at the moment? We're right in the yellow zone, which is where we're supposed to be. I might have the car sounds a bit too high. So we've got Knuckles for Auto 1 Lucky's Lawn Care out in front. Mountain Goat apparently setting some pretty blistering pace as well in the Revolution race gear car for Death Grip. Third, we got Lenosis for Dadson. Dadson looking to put in some good team points tonight, and driver points I should add too. Race Fan down in fourth. FGT Light for CP Motorsports. Then we got Bumcrack for Auto 1 for Ragged Edge Racing. Fill in for the Ghost. The Ghost couldn't quite make it tonight. Alright, Black Project in the pits already for Rap Studios, which would be Blacklight. Okay, Knuckles is in. Mr. Bumcrack stays out, so he's already on the softs. Might be what he's looking for.
Stayed on the mediums. Hardy stayed on the mediums. Interesting. Don't think they have time to do that, but anyway, they're going to stay out on mediums. Berry and Hardy Thump.
We'll just see how the Auto 1 boys go to work on the tyre change. Alright, so Nux is out on the softs now. We're going to see some pretty good times out of Knuckles. He's got a bit of a train right behind him. And it looks as though Nux and the Goat probably will work together here. I think Goat, the young fella, he is super quick when he needs to be. Old Wakey, another one of the fast ones. Definitely showing some potential last season when he was coming through the ranks. He's stepped into the Porsche and it doesn't seem to have changed much. Barry down in third. Tamar Cars for Obsession Motorsport. And Artie Thump in fourth, who will be CJ Esports. Now that's D'Angelo, or pretty sure that's D'Angelo. I don't know what it's for. I've been told. That's right, I know what it's for. It's for the truck hitches. It's where Jimmy himself works.
Right, we're about to get our first indicative times here as Bumcrackers around the final turn. What's he going to open the account with? Looks like it's going to be a mid 44. 44.74. Oh, Wakey goes better with a 44 flat. Berry and Artie both do 45s. They're still on the mediums. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure there.
Guys are on that lap still.
That's a pretty quick lap, first lap from old Wakey.
It's a stalking lap. It's good to see the Aussie Hampton Racing team starting to really punch up in the podium areas of the grid too. Of the couple of seasons have been around the middle towards the back of the field. It's great to see some of these purple cars find their way back to the front.
Yeah, I think I've toned the opening and closing videos down a little bit today. I put some took some volume out of them. Hopefully they weren't still too loud. Alright, so old Wakey's still sitting up the front. We're yet to see Nux in 8th, who will be coming around to start his hot lap.
I noticed Nux has actually drifted down the pack a little bit too since coming out of the pit, so he's repositioned. He might have either made a mistake or he's just deliberately repositioned himself. So, he was in front of Race Fan and Lenosis as well, so those guys have all slipped through. Watching Lenosis as he heads towards the second timing marker here for Sector 2 in the Dadson Porsche. These guys have come on strong this season as he goes purple. So at the moment, I'm just going to have a quick look at the combined teams championship at the moment. Dadson Racing Team is currently 8th on 178 points, but that is pre-Group A racing, I believe, where Kiwi Raikkonen smacked his way up through the field and won the race. As the two medium runners both go in.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting some sound levels.
Oh! Lenosis got a penalty on the final corner. Oh, that's... okay.
Nux straight to the top with a 43.2.
All right, I just had to catch up what was going on there. So Deloche just got purple, got a penalty, but it cleared it as he crossed the line, and that put Nux to the top. Mountain goes second. Old Wakey says hold on to third. Black Project's come out of nowhere there in the black light car for fourth position. He'd be happy with that. Race fan currently fifth with a 2GP over his head, so he's looking at potentially seventh at the moment. Jimmy Superfly. Now this guy here, he's the guy that, you know, pretty quiet in qualifying sometimes, but then in the race, it just finds another gear. So keep an eye on him. And Lenosius there did a 44.4, but got hammered with that penalty across the line, so that would have been a 43.4.
Which is probably good enough for second position.
Would have been second. Yeah, it would have been second. So he got really unlucky at the line there. They docked him a second as he hit the line.
Yeah, I'm just adjusting some volume again. I'm almost at max volume. Just to try and get it a bit even. Alright, so Bumcrack's in the pits. Let's see what he's got. Old Wakey's in the pits.
Well, these guys here started out on soft tyres, ran a couple of laps on full fuel. So we'll see their pace actually come to the front now when they get out there with the lighter tank. But they're not leaving themselves much room either. They're going to get around for one lap. So they'll do an outlap and then only have one more shot. So not leaving much just Nux and everything are all peeling in as well. These guys are all going in again.
Yeah, but this is going to be their last pit stop and to grab fresh tyres. 2 minutes to go, they'll get around and then one hot lap.
Artie Thump's coming around again now because he's just finishing his outlap. Him and Berry, remember they did their lap on the medium, so they're currently 9th and 11th. They're about to start their running lap now on softs.
I tell you what,
2/3 of a tank in each.
Nux and Mountain Goat are going to be pushing to get around in time.
I was about to say that, they're pushing their lap. They're still in the pits now.
45.9 from Dobrev. Where's that stick him in 11th? Dobrev on the double duties.
These guys are going to be cutting it close. Nux and Old Wake, Mountain Goat have exited the pits with 1:43 on the clock. So they're going to need to do like a sub 43 outlap to be able to get around again. Otherwise, they're going to get buried in the traffic here. They might not make it round again.
Yeah, I've got a feeling they're not going to get there.
Thanks, Carbon Boy. They said the volume's good now, mate. How is Goat in B? I think Goat missed a round earlier in the season, did he? Did he not? Might have been round one. He might have missed and got 0 points for the round, so that put him at the back of the field for the overall championship, which puts him in Group B. So now he's trying to claw his way back up to A. Another good result tonight. Might see him find his way back up. Let's have a quick look to see where he is at the moment in the championship. No, he's in deep trouble. So he's currently 25th in the championship. He can't climb back up out of this race.
Right, so Goat pulls over. He's letting Nux past.
Doesn't have time to do that. He needs to get a move on. 40 seconds to go before they get around. Slowest part of the track here too. As Nux runs right out of road there, goes way wide.
I think there's a bit of cat and mouse playing here.
They don't have time to stuff around though.
So
they might just get there. It's going to be close.
About to say that, 30 seconds to go. Artie Thump goes a 43.6 to second position.
Great lap from Artie Thump there.
All right, where's Mr. Bumcrack? He's down in ninth.
They're going to just make it, these guys. Race fans across the line, Mountain Goats across the line, Black Projects across the line.
They've all done it.
They've all just made it. Lucky.
All right, we'll jump back.
Mr. Bumcrack's the first of the not runners that are going to get through, I think.
And Lenosis. Where's Lenosis? Lenosis is... he got through. Alright, so Bumcrack down in 9th position. Can he set a better time? This is his second outing on the softs. Probably running a bit less fuel than everyone else. Everyone else started on the mediums. Only by one lap.
Oh, he's way in front of his own lap, but he's miles off the pace of pole position. He's currently 1.3 seconds off pole, so he's quite a way down now. Well, Barry's got a penalty, so he's out of the running for it. Where is old mate Wakey there? He's the guy that's first in line to cross the line to finish his lap. He's tucked in behind Bumcrack.
I'm just trying to see where he is on the grid, but...
4th on the road, he is at the moment. as
Well,
he exits the final turn.
Bumcrack's going to get there first.
He'll improve. As he does, as a 44. Oh, Wakey improves again, but doesn't quite go up any positions. Next in line is Artie Thumb, who improves again, but doesn't get to Nux. Now we're looking at Mountain Goat. Currently fourth on the road. He's got Race Fan in front of him.
Race Fan's got the 2 grid spot penalty, so he can try and improve.
Next across the line's Aloysius. He's going to cross now. Doesn't improve. Yes, he does. 43 goes to second.
Goat stays fourth.
Improves to fourth. Black
That's
Project
it.
doesn't improve. Nux doesn't improve. I think we're about there.
That's run and done.
I think so. Just trying to see if we're missing anybody that's already run around.
Everyone looks to be on pace doing the slow crawl.
Someone's still lapping. I can't figure out who it is. Because otherwise I would have just ran the timer out. Oh, it's Debrev. He ran out of time. Alright, so Nux takes it. I'm just going to grab this screenshot real quick for these guys.
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty good race up the front.
I do too.
Lenos is sitting up in second. Really good.
It's going to be a good race in turn 1.
Nux and Artie Thump. Artie Thump's always one that you just know won't leave you alone. And Mountain Goat in the mix with Old Wakey, so it's the top 5 are really going to have a good race.
They're red flagged, so I'm just going to give them a second to get themselves organised by sending myself a screenshot of the grid. I'll have this done really quickly for you guys, so don't go away, because there's only got to be one movement really, if the game plays fair.
So as we mentioned earlier, we are heading to Spa for round 4. That's going to be another interesting race too.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys were out of that track really quickly, which is awesome to see. Of course, I've got to sign into my app so I can see the messages I sent myself.
Just throw the track back up again, so you all know it's Barcelona. We got 4.65 kilometres to get around, 16 corners, 40 minutes ahead of us. It's going to be one pretty good race. Knuckles is one of the drivers that you can expect to not give up his position. Lenosis had a good last round, definitely preparing by the look of it to go round 3 for another good outing. And Artie Thump will be looking to get back to Group A as well with Mountain Goat, so it's going to be really good.
Alright, just setting the grid now, guys. Naturally I had to sign back into the PlayStation app to be able to see the screenshot, which was awesome. Thanks very much, PlayStation Network. Artie Thump was a good qualifying there, just quietly. P3.
Definitely.
Mountain Goat down a spot.
Artie Thump's definitely a good driver when he's on his game. Same with Old Wakey. Race Fan's another one. It's actually a pretty stacked Group B.
It is. It really is.
And you've also got Jimmy Superfly in the mix as well. Interesting to see how Lenosis goes, because I think the Datsun boys are really hoping for some good points. Datsun just pulled a 4th in the challenge, boys, so another podium on this one would be really good for them.
Come on, stickers. I need you to enter the race for me, please, bud. Got a grid check. There we go. Right, step. Check this grid order real quick, guys.
Stickers is watching the stream.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Tried to sneak a couple of spots. He did. All right, so just going to shift Race Fan down. He's currently 7th. So he's going to go to 9th behind Mr. Bumcrack. So Jimmy Superfly and Bumcrack both get a bump up. So the grid is as follows. Nux and Lenosis off row number 1. Artie Thumper Mountain Goat off 2. Row 3 sees Old Wakey and Black Project RX7. Jimmy Superfly and Bumcrack now start out of row 4. Race fans drop back a row to row 5 with Berry. Stickers out of row 6 with Debrev and SLM the Kazi one, and NASCAR off the final row of the grid. We are ready to go. Let's do it, guys.
We're all going to be wondering how Jimmy Superfly goes.
All right, let's do this, guys. Hopefully, we get a nice clean start. Don't want to have to red flag it again. That would really suck. Guys that are in position to find their way maybe into AR stickers, I'll Wakey Artie Thump if they get a good result tonight. Potentially go back to Group A.
All right, so we are looking at majority of the field starting on mediums. I think it was Mr. Bumcrack and...
Just double checking them now.
I think maybe Old Wakey.
Bumcrack and Artie Thump.
Artie Thump, that's it.
I think.
Let me get into position here. All right, here we go. The revs are building. The lights are on. Oh, listen to the tyres light up there from Mountain Goat. Doesn't seem to have hindered him too much, but he's got off the line pretty well.
Nux had a great start. Artie Thump's had a good start too. He's level with Lucius down the straight. Nux is taking control though.
Oh, there's weaving everywhere.
Oh. Lucius down the inside. Deep dive. Nux is going to get turned.
Oh, I tell you what, they got through there.
Oh, he got away with it. Oh, they tried to check up. Lucius tried to check up. He just boxed the field up. They've all gone sideways. They're 3-4 wide.
Mountain Goat's taken a big hit there. He's back down to 11th.
Yeah, he got turned in the middle of the field there somewhere. He's trying to find space now. As they're still going, look at this. Who's that? Berry down the inside. Right down the inside of everybody.
Berry's up to 3rd.
Wow, that's just... Guys, these guys are going off the nut.
I tell you what, Lenosis went for the big lunge, which we probably could have got a replay for, but we missed into turn 1. It's definitely back to field up. Caused a little bit of...
Oh, who's that? Jimmy Superfly's way off track. He's going to go round. He's gone. He's in the fence. That's it. Crunch. Revolution car. Oh, look at this battle for 3rd still. Lenosis in the inside, Old Wake in the outside. Berry in the middle, who started 10th, I think, so he's right up the order. That's Old Wake, he runs the red. Black Project slips down the inside as well to get in through there now. So he's going to tuck in behind Berry. Lenosis gets back to 3rd. These guys are just changing positions. Stickers with a great start as well, currently 7th. He's come up a couple of spots. Started 11th on the grid, so he's gone up several spots.
Stickers is, pre-season in the Porsche, he was absolutely flying, so he'll be looking to get on the podium tonight, that's for sure.
Black Project's tucked in under the back wing of Berry along the front straight here, looking to make a move. At the moment, you need Old Wakey to start getting a move on here, because it was himself and who was it? It was Old Wakey and Bumcrack on the softs. So that all the tyres are correct as per starter qualifying, so nobody's going to get a penalty for that, which is awesome to see. As Berry just gets run right out there. He's passed by Old Wakey now as well on the soft tyres. Bit of eager racing for these guys to start. As Stickers flies down the inside now too, gives Berry a bit of a bump on the way through as well.
Berry's a little bit hit and miss when it comes to race lengths, and not so much having bad races, but hit and miss as in sometimes he'll hold on and make his way to the front, other times he just can't seem to get through the pack.
Yeah, we've seen some absolute shows of brilliance from Berry over the course of these seasons. Then other races where he just has gone off the boil completely. So hopefully this is the formal where he just gets it up and under control. He's on the medium tyre at the moment, so if he just stays in the pack, he's in with a good shot. The ones that need to get a move on are Old Wakey and the Bumcrack, because those guys are on the soft, so they need to make hay now while they're on the good tyre. As Old Wakey's really putting pressure on the back of Black Project now. He's just snuck himself up to 4th position, which is a good start from him. He's looking for a decent result tonight.
But this is going to be where he makes the move. He's going to be in the slipstream range here for the main straight. Stickers is going to be wishing he was a little bit closer. Oh, I see an overtake there on Berry as well. It's going to be Mountain Goat making his way back from 11th back up to 7th so far. Old Wakey.
Inside. Wakey through. Nice and clean there from Wakey as well. Nice move.
Just seeing Mountain Goat back there in 7th, got the pass done on Berry.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a move on now, Mountain Goat, because he had a really good qualifying and just got on the wrong place in that starting melee there where the guys are all over the track. As this field's already starting to spread out quite a bit too. He's now 5 seconds off the lead at the start of lap 3, so he needs to get a wriggle on. As the front end of the track now, it looks like Artie Thump's just closed up now. He's got the current fastest lap with a 44.8. He's closed himself right up to the back of Knuckles.
This is where Artie Thump really strives. Sits behind someone, he can just, for some reason, a lot of drivers when they're in the tow of another car, the draft just doesn't help the car steer or anything. But Artie Thump just seems to make it work behind. Also, Lenosis seems to be catching up to
I think
the
just
front two.
Very, very slim fuel differences at the moment, but I can just see so far that Knuckles has actually got more fuel than the rest of the guys, so he might be backing these guys down to the field a little bit here, just with fuel save. It looks like Kazzy's fallen off the road there too. He's dropped off the back of the field a bit too. Stay in it, Kazzy. Keep on to it, mate. This is a bit of a game Knuckles is playing here, though. If he lets these guys get too much on him, he might end up with an incident here if these guys come together. There's Lenosis gets a penalty. That's going to hurt him. Here he goes into turn 1. Artie Thump goes for the lead.
Old Wakey will get this move as well.
Nux did not make that hard at all. So it might be a bit of a game Nux is playing here to look for a bit of fuel save here. Tuck in behind Artie Thump.
Rev, that's the wrong button. Old Wakey's got around Lenosis, so where's Mr. Bumcrack? He's definitely not up with old Wakey where he should be.
He got shuffled pretty badly at the start, Bumcrack did. I noticed in that starting melee, he was a little bit further down the field than he'd like to be as well. But again, no, he'd be suffering from massive fatigue now after doing another race already. Oh no, it's DeBrev, sorry. Where's DeBrev? DeBrev's currently 13th. Doing, what is it now, we're 6.5 minutes in, so he's almost an hour and a bit into racing tonight after doing practice qualifying for the challenge race.
So we're down to a 44.1 for old Wakey for the fastest lap. DeBrev down in 13th, who we were just talking about. NASCAR, the late entry, not late entry, but almost didn't make it.
The late re-entry, he actually withdrew from the night and had a stand-in driver to come in for him. It would have been the Stranger, who raced earlier this evening. He was going to do double stint tonight, as per DeBrev, but whatever NASCAR had going on tonight, he actually got out of it early, so he got home and was like, well, I'm home, so I might as well just jump in the car. It's like, well, you can, but you've missed the test start, so you need to start off the back of the grid. He was okay with that, so here he is, currently 11th and circulating.
And he's got Superfly in tow. Superfly is one that we might have thought might have been further up the grid, but he's definitely struggling with pace tonight.
Well, Superfly's recovering from that big lose in the first lap. He got shuffled out of the back and ended up in the fence. Picked up car damage as well, so he's got excessive tyre wear.
That is correct.
On the left side now. So he's actually hurting left side tyres a lot more than the other guys. He makes the move on NASCAR down into turn 1. Very, very solid move.
See if we can grab it, because I just went off screen as you said it.
It was a very Daniel Ricciardo-esque dive down the inside. Made it happen, didn't touch him, got down the inside, got it turned in nicely, so...
Just like that. Alright, so back up the front, Knuckles. Not letting go. Old Wakey's still hanging around, so what are we on, lap 5? Soft tyres would still be working a bit better than the mediums at the moment.
Wakey's making the most of his soft tyres, and he's caught himself up to the front runners because he got shuffled down a bit in that opening melee as well after starting on row 2. He got shuffled down the pack, so he's actually made hay now with those tyres. He's actually brought Lenosis with him as well, really good for Lenosis because he's caught on the back of this after starting off the front row, got shuffled down the pack. And this little battle here at the moment, Black Project is still holding on to 5th, but he's got the Mountain Goat right on him now. Look at the Mountain Goat tucked up under the back bumper of the Black Light car. I think he's going to make a move on him here very, very shortly, probably into turn 1, I'd say.
Might jump on board, see how well this slipstream works, not the strip stream.
The strip stream. Watch the stickers too, he might slip onto the back of this as well. He might be able to sneak down there too if he can get close enough, because he's right there with them. So Black Project's to be careful not to open the door for 2 cars instead of 1 as they go into turn 1. So the kid goes down the inside, pulls it up nicely there in the Revolution car. So a little bit loose and exit, but gets it under control.
Sticker's looking pretty close now. Well, Black Project just hits the curb, runs it a little bit wide.
Yeah. It's going to unsettle the car a bit now. It's just going to put him in danger of getting slipstream now from Stickers, who might have a run down the second straight into sector 2 there and get a pass into that tightish hairpin there out of sector 2.
I tell you what, back up the front just quickly. It's all really tight still.
Great bit of racing in front here. These guys are really well matched on pace at the moment. So Nux is a historically a Group A runner, but he's just not happy with this car this season. Just doesn't like the Porsche, doesn't suit his driving style. He really was looking to... I think he actually picked the Supra in the pre-season manufacturer's draft.
So did I.
He wanted the front engine rear-wheel drive of the Supra, or he wanted everyone to suffer in the Lamborghini. He did not want the Porsche. He doesn't like the Porsche.
Well, we ran the Porsche a few seasons ago for the second tier boys, and but we ran tuning, and I definitely enjoyed it back then. Not that I had to drive it all the time, but I got into jump into it and tune it, so it had a bit of experience with it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. We gave the guys the option, and the majority of the crew picked what we would classify as a safe option, which was the Porsche. This car here we're currently racing. Guys have got experience with it, as you said, and it's probably the most stable of the 3 cars we picked, because it was this or the Lamborghini that wanted to kill people, or the Supra that was really, really fast.
Lenosis is still holding on. There's only 2.5 seconds separating the top 4 so far. Mountain Goat slowly making his way back to the podium. Towards the podium, I should say.
Huge fuel save on 2 guys, just to put it out there. He's just done his fastest lap of the race, which was a 45.3. So now that he's out of the pack, he's starting to make a bit more pace. Medium tyre runner at the moment.
So we're on lap 7. I believe it's around the lap 11, 12 and 13 that people will be pitting. Probably not the boys on the old Wakey and Bumcrack on the softs. They may go in a lap earlier.
Well, what did we see in the challenge race? Everyone one-stopped, so even the soft tyre runners ran to a one-stop strat. So, interestingly, I know last week in the A run, a lot of guys were two-stopping on the soft tyre, so these guys this week have decided that it's better off for the race overall just to run the run stop and not have to do that other long pit transit time. So you suffer on the soft tyre for a lot longer, but you don't lose as much time overall.
All right, let's see what Stickers has got, because we're coming down to the main straight now. He's within slipstream range of Black Project. Oh, he's hit the high curb. He spun it sideways. He's lost all that gap.
He's lost that slipstream. He's going to have to watch the back bumper now, watch the mirror for race fan who's going to be eagerly trying to chase him down, because he's had it rough actually at the start. He got that grid spot penalty which pushed him down to 9th on the grid, and he hasn't really been able to make much of a position up because he got caught up in that melee at the start where the whole field compressed really, really badly, and it just, a lot of these guys either got lucky or didn't. So some guys jumped a lot of cars down the inside line. The guys that were stuck on the outside really suffered. I think Racer was one of those guys on the outside that just got caught out wide and couldn't get back in.
Race fan, one of the ones you'd expect to be running around the top half of the field, and well, the race ain't over yet. Definitely a fast driver.
Absolutely. CP this season especially has just had a bit of a quiet season. I think they're on a bit of a building phase after they've slipped back from. Well, they went back from 2 temps to 1 now, so they're sort of refinding their position. So obviously the front as well with the Cyborg not leading out as far as he usually is. But I expect those guys there. It's a pretty top-notch organisation. So I expect them to be back up the pointy end by the end of the season at least. Or as we move into whatever we're driving next after the Porsche. We haven't decided what that's going to be yet, depending on what GT7's doing, I guess. Please let us know what we're doing. We don't know what's going on yet.
So, Jimmy Superfly is definitely making some ground now. He's caught up to Bumcrack in 10th. Probably within slipstream range here too.
I'm actually just watching this battle at the front here at the moment. It's a 1 second penalty. That's going to rip him to pieces. The Mountain Goat's going to be right on him here. He might even get him into turn 1. He's got a massive closing speed. Does he make the move? It's going to be a late dive. He does go for the dive. Lurch tries to shut him down. Shuts him down. Oh, Lurch just gets the door shut in time. That was close though. But now he's under massive pressure. This is going to give the kid everything he needs to get him up and under it. That little 1 second penalty. That's a huge penalty. Look at the kid though. He's going to make a move here. He might even do it here. Here it comes.
Here it comes. Well, he's going to get it done. But has he got enough to set himself up?
Out wide. He's going to stay out wide. Can he stay beside him? He's going to run. He's going to fight him for the next apex. Here it is. Notice down the inside. Going to get it back. The kid's backed off early. He's going to try and get the exit here. Look at this exit from the kid. Oh, great job. Notice with the slide. He's stuck on the outside again as they kick through. Another left-hander. What a nice bit of racing from these two here. Plenty of gentlemanly racing. They haven't been cutting each other off. There's just a little bit of a touch there from the kid. Just lets him know he's still there.
Just waiting to see a penalty pop up for Lenosis again because he took a fair bit of that curb through the chicane.
I'm right with him at the moment. I think he's got away with it, luckily. As the kid just gets it done now into the hairpin as well, so he's managed to get through that last big braking zone. If he can shake the slipstream off, he might be able to clear him before the end of the straight and be away.
It's going to jump back to stickers because it looks as though he's caught back up to the back of Black Project. So let's see if without the slide out of the corner this time, he might be able to get a move done here down the straight.
I think Black Project's starting to suffer on those mediums. As Old Wakey's the first one to go in on the softs. Right on 24 minutes. That's a short stint compared to what we saw in Group B challenge race.
Oh, race fan runs wide. Stickers has lost that exit again.
Yeah, he lost it again through the chicane. He got slidey on the chicane. Race fan with a penalty. So now Berry flies past. Looks like Bumcrack might get him 2. He does 2 into turn 1, so Race Fan's just gone backwards. I think Jimmy Superfly got a penalty as well because he was running down the inside of the track on the front straight. NASCAR now 11th. Oh, Wakey exit the pits. He's just gone to 2/3 of a tank. So he might be fueled to the end. He might still try to one-stop from here. He's just trying the undercut, maybe.
It's good to see the field not like spread out over the whole lap. They're still within contention of one another.
Oh, yeah.
Just going to jump back up the front and see where we're at with Artie and Nux. Looks as though Artie is holding him off pretty well. He's got maintaining the 0.8 to a second gap. Way better exit from Nux there through the fast right-hander.
I'm just looking at the two cars now overall as well. So Artie's used the car a little bit more, a little bit less fuel on board the CJ Esports car. Tyres are looking, probably another 5% worn over what Nux is running. So Nux has definitely saved the car up over that first stint. And now he's just starting to close the gap a little bit now onto Artie Thumb. But the fuel gap is negligible between the two of them. So I don't expect there to be a massive swing in pace in time through the pits for fuel on these two guys. But it's going to be an interesting race from these two towards the end as well. They're going to be locked together for the whole race unless something goes wrong.
So Mountain Goat now sitting on the podium. Very good finish to the race. We still have a long way to go, but he's definitely made back some big spots.
Absolutely.
Well, you'll be nice to know, Jimmy, that Artie Thump's still leading by 1 second. Keep the camera off him for now for you.
He's showing some good pace tonight, Artie Thump, and it's going to be good to see a CJ Esports car back up the pointy end, if in fact that does end up happening. How long's it been since a CJ car's won a race?
I think Jimmy.
Genuinely asking, I don't know, I can't remember, so I'm genuinely asking the question. Not trying to be rude or anything, Jimmy.
I think Jimmy had a good outing in the first round. I don't know if he won the race, but it was maybe one of the sprint rounds.
It's actually good to see at the moment. We've got CJ Esports leading from Lucky's Lawn Care car, which you expect to see them towards the front. Then you've got a Death Grip Racing Revolution race gear car in third position at the moment. And then another Datsun car. So it's teams that we don't normally see some of these guys up the pointy end. So it's great to see some of the teams that are, you know, historically more of a midfield team finding their way towards the front and consistently finding their way towards the front as well, especially with Datsun Racing this season.
So the team we thought at the beginning of this season that would come out and absolutely stomp the grounds, I should say, would be the Lightning Motorsports. They're still up the front of the towards the front end of the field with the points, but yeah, they're struggling in the last couple of tracks.
Yeah, so at the moment, the current, as per whatever the points are in at the moment, is Ragged Edge Racing leading the Combined Teams Championship from Deeds Racing, who don't have a shot in the gun tonight. Lightning Motorsport, then Blacklight Motorsport is the top four. Then Aussie Hampton Racing, Obsession, Lucky's Lawn Care Racing, Datsun, CJ Esports, RCLL, CP Motorsports is currently 11th, which you never would have put money on that at the start of the season. Death Grip Racing, T53, and Red Mist is currently 14th. So you've got teams at the top, you know, except for Baby Ragged Edge Racing, which we've seen at the top of the teams, Combined Team Championship for a couple of seasons, and now up around the top. But you've seen the likes of Deeds Racing, Blacklight Motorsport, and Lightning Motorsport, the new team, up the pointy end, which is great to see. Aussie Hampton's all holding strong in fifth. This is sort of what we aim for in this one make comfortable Porsche series that we looked at when we decided to run this regulation for this season, to sort of just bring everybody back into a position where they're a bit more close, get a bit more of a variety of race winners, which is what we've seen so far this season, which is awesome to see.
Now, I know taking the season off from racing is definitely wishing I never did.
You've got itchy feet now sitting in the comp box. You're ready to get back in the car for next season?
But it's been a good break. But yeah, you kind of look at everyone else racing and you think, where would I have placed? But here we go. The front runners are in the pits. So now they're going to be on to the soft tyres, putting down some fast lap times, faster than what's already out there.
Well, my interesting one now is looking for Old Wakey. He's currently 9th, just about to approach the final complex now. He's just on a 45.9, which would have been his first lap. His outlap was a 43.8, so he got caught up in traffic or something there somewhere, because lap 11 was pretty slow actually at 45.9. So even on the medium tyre.
He'll get past, but he's just running on.
It's going to be close.
A little bit of canvas by the end of the race.
Here they come. They're running out of the pits now. He's going to just clear them, I think. There's not much in it. He's on the medium. Those guys are on the soft. He's in trouble.
Yep. Within a lap or two, they're going to be right behind him. So Barry now.
Nuts has jumped Artie through the pits too. So that fuel difference has actually proved me wrong.
Barry leading the race by 6 seconds.
Barry and NASCAR haven't pitted yet. They've just gone past. They're both on the medium tyre as well, so they're running long on their medium. So they're going to try and run a shorter, soft stint, which will actually be around a 15-minute stint. So they're going to be a really quick car at the end of the race, those two guys. So keep an eye on Barry especially, who's a fair way. He's now, what is he in front of? He's 13 seconds ahead of Old Wakey, who will take the lead of the race when these guys pit through.
And it can be that 1 or 2 laps extra that make the shorter stint at the end worth it for a few seconds.
Old Wakey. So the gap between Old Wakey and Mountain Goat, who would effectively be 4th position on the road, is 7, 8, 9 seconds. So I reckon Barry's going to drop in around the Mountain Goat somewhere there, and he might end up on the back end of the top 4. As Mountain Goat has got another penalty there, trying to burn it on the run into the hairpin. Didn't affect anybody, so I think that's all square.
All right, Barry's in. Pretty sure we're going to see NASCAR follow.
Just quietly, just have a look at 8th position and back, just quickly, because look at these guys. This is a battle pack that's still raging. Stickers, Black Project, Jimmy Superfly's now caught the back of these guys. Bumcrack's in it. Race fans in it. Alright. So, the lead of the race is about to change, guys. Nux is about to make his move, and Old Wakey down the inside into turn 1. Old Wakey on that medium tyre. It's just not worked, has it? That soft to medium stint. It just doesn't work. Now, all that Old Wakey can do now is just push, and try to get these guys to wear the softs out as fast as they can. It looks like Artie Thump's going to catch them up too in a sec.
Yeah, keep the pressure on. The softs will run out pretty quick if you push the car.
Black Project, Jimmy Superfly side by side through the... Oh, Black Project got shuffled off. He's not going to be happy about that. There's now Berry on the soft tyre. The freshest tyres on the track at the moment, currently 9th. He's going to grab all these guys, I reckon. He's going to make a move on Black Project any second now. Down the inside. Here it comes. Gets it done. Gives him a little thump on the way through, but he was already well clear.
Quick little operator Berry when he wants to be.
I think we're going to see a very quick operator here now. He's going to start making some moves through the field. So Black Project's just started to drift a little bit in this race. Been a bit of a recipient of pillar to post bashing again tonight. He's got a couple of hits in the wrong spots and stuff, but if he keep his head down now, he might be able to just tuck on the back of Berry here and sort of follow him up through the pack. Anything could happen in this middle battle pack too. These guys are very close together. Artie Thump's managed to grab Old Wakey as well already. So he's not liking these cold medium tyres. They're not working for him at the moment, Old Wakey. He's got 4 seconds on Mountain Goat, who's going to be approaching very quickly on softs. What's his first time lap going to be like? It's a 43.69 to go to the fastest lap of the race. So the Mountain Goat is flying, guys. Look at, he's just checked out from Lenosis, who's now 4 seconds behind him.
Yep, he's got some speed, that little kid.
Look at this though. Jimmy Superfly's got a penalty, so they're 3 wide to turn 1 with Berry. Oh, wow. Berry's got out, well, he's just tucked in, so Jimmy's now tucked in behind him again. He's going to have to go around, Black Project again. He's already passed him once, he's going to do it again. But now he's got Race Fan there with him for company. Sheep Station's here for the back of the top 5, top 6.
Looks like Bumcrack just falling off the pace a little bit. Maybe can't handle the mediums.
Oh boy, Mountain Goat is clutching these guys quickly. He's now 3.3 seconds off the back of Wakey and closing in. He's racing for a podium at the moment too, so he's on the move. How's the lead pack looking like? Artie Thump's just closed himself up to the back of Knuckles as well.
I just
so we're
seen
onto a bit of a race here.
Goat just got himself a penalty. Half a second.
No. Oh no. He's burning it again down the inside of the back straight there. Again, not really interfering with anybody, so it's okay to do that as long as you're not in a battle pack. As long as you don't burn it into a braking zone, you're usually pretty good. He's moved over.
Alright, so Artie Thump's starting to put the pressure on Knuckles now. And this is all going to play into Old Wakey's hands if he can just kind of latch onto the back there. Just falling off a bit though. Once these two start battling, that gap will probably close back up again. Although Mountain Goat is on a mission. Down in 5th, we still got Lenosis. 6th, we're seeing Stickers. So Stickers has got around Black Project and is able to gap. We've now got Berry on the softs who's got around Black Project as well. And Black Project just makes another move back past Berry. So Berry maybe already used his softs up. Wouldn't think you'd use them up that quick though. Maybe struggling a little bit with consistency to the end of the race.
Jimmy used the extra wide line there through the complex there. Just looking at the leaders again, it's very close for the leaders. Artie Thump's tucked right at the back of Knuckles now. 11 minutes to go. There's going to be a race for the finish here. Oh shit! One of my dogs got out. Won't be a sec. I'll let you do it for a minute.
So I reckon by lap 6, 17, 18, we're going to start to see Artie Thump start to put a bit of pressure on Knuckles. And here we go, Mountain Goat's caught. Old Wakey. Don't jump the curbs too much, you will get a penalty through here. Let's see what Mountain Goat's got down the straight. He's within tow. He's going to make this easy. Although Old Wakey's not making it easy, he's going to take the inside line to defend and Mountain Goat get through. Mountain Goat does that with ease. I think Old Wakey might have gave him a little bit of room there. Knuckles still in the lead. Artie Thump maybe playing a little bit safe here, keeping a little bit of tyre wear under control. Then we have Lenosis next in line, looking to take Old Wakey. A little bit of a gap back to Lenosis, but nothing major. Stickers just dropping off the pace now a little bit. 10 minutes to go. Fatigue starts to set in. Black Project and Berry still at it. Starting to think that the soft tyres have been used up on Berry's car. And then down in 9th we've got Race Fan. Superfly. Just struggling a little bit tonight. A bit of an incident in the first few corners of the race and hasn't been able to get back up there. Mr. Bum Crack down in 11th. The fill-in driver for Ragged Edge tonight. Very well done. 11th place, nothing to sneeze at. NASCAR down in 12th. Artie Thump's got the lead, we've missed it. We just got it in time. There's a slipstream down the straight. Now what has Knuckles got? Knuckles is going to see this, there's 9 minutes left. He's going to probably just weigh his options up here. He'll have a look at where Artie's fast, where he's slow, and then he'll make his move come toward the end of the race, I reckon. Two very clean drivers here, Artie Thump and Nux. Nux won't make a move too early. And Artie will be very good on the defensive side, so we'll see what happens down the main straight. Yeah, definitely a good round for Dadson tonight. They'll be taking some good team points, some good driver points. Yeah, we'll just jump back to Mountain Goat. Mountain Goat 4.5 seconds behind, so we'll just see, give it a lap or two, 4.5 seconds, see what the gap's happening with Mountain Goat. But here we go. What will Knuckles do down the main straight? He's done a stickers, he's lost the rear. He's just out of slipstream now, that's not what he wanted. Artie Thump will be praying in that car that he can't get back in the slipstream. I can see back down there. We're into 4th position. Here comes Lenosis back on Old Wakey. He's got the job done. The medium's just starting to struggle for Wakey. He's been on him a few laps longer than most. 7 minutes left, probably looking at around the 3 to 4 laps, potentially 4. The Aussie Hampton tyres just seem to be squealing a little bit, nothing too major. Aussie Hampton Porsche, I should say. So what do we got? Artie Thump still up the front. Knuckles is just sitting behind at the moment. I think he'll probably do that for a few laps. Okay, so this is the same spot we were last. 4.5 seconds the gap was last time from a Mountain Goat to Nux. So the time is coming down fast. It's a second in 1 lap. 3 to 4 laps to go. So this is going to end up one ripper of a finish. I think Mountain Goat might have enough here to catch up and see what he can do with the Revolution race gear Porsche. Now, if I'm Knuckles, I'm looking at the time gap coming down from Mountain Goat and thinking I need to make a pass here as he tries to pull out. It's starting to look like Artie Thump is starting to get a little bit of tyre wear, maybe he's starting to struggle through the fast sweepers. Knuckles up the inside, pulls back. Putting the pressure on. It's going to play right into the hands of Mountain Goat. Gap stabilised at 3.5, back to the Mountain Goat. Just starting to come into the rear view of Nux. See the different line choices there from the two boys. Bit of a wide entry for Knuckles, bit of a tight entry for Artie Thump. Lenosis still down in 4th. He's 6 seconds off Mountain Goat now. The front podium runners are definitely a little bit of a step ahead now. And old Wakey, first of the ones to stop, well, the first person to stop, I should say, on the soft tyre. Been running the mediums the longest so far. 2 laps to go. Holding on to 5th. Stickers probably gaining on old Wakey a little bit. Berry down in 7th. Might have jumped onto the softs a little early. Just starting to come into a little bit of trouble with tyre wear now. Black Project and Race Fan having a nice go at it here. Also see Superfly in the background. Race Fan holds on, goes defensive. Although a Black Project is under some real pressure from Superfly now. Superfly taking that really wide line. It's interesting there's no penalty going there, so he's on a bit of a different line. Mr. Bumcrack still down in 11th. Bit of a lone ranger at the moment. NASCAR in 12th. Brevin 13th. Rounding out the 14 is Kazi. The green beacon car for Red Mist Racing. Back up the front, we still have Artie holding on to the lead. The gap opened up to a second before down for the slipstream. It's now within slipstream range. What can Knuckles do? Is he going to make the move? We've probably got 2 laps, 1 lap left. 2 laps left we will have now, sorry. He's just not close enough to make the move. Where's Mountain Goat? And can we see him in the revision mirror now? He's getting closer and closer, down to 2.3 the gap. Can also see we got Mountain Goat pulled the fastest lap there with a 1:43.6, and I believe that might have happened a little while ago. It's almost under 2 seconds now, the gap from Mountain Goat. He's in form. He's going to have one lap after this, maybe. Needs to make this happen. Although it looks like Artie Thump might have done enough here. It's going to be the slipstream down the main straight, so he's going to want to go defensive. Defensive from Nux, who going into the chicane on turn 1 and 2, you might be defensive on the inside, but you'll lose it to the outside through the chicane. I think they've done enough probably to hold off Mountain Goat here unless there's a mistake. I tell you what, Artie gets a really good exit out of the final corner. Still within slipstream though, Knuckles. It's not going to be close enough though, he's going to have to do it at some other point in the track. Oh, the yellow flags are out. I think the gap's stabilising now back to Mountain Goat, so it's pedal to the metal for the front two. Just see Artie move into the defensive lines each corner. He's not slowing anyone up though. As good as he's going defensive, it looks as though Nux might be struggling a little bit with the car. Very close, so anything can happen here. This is another straight we need to watch out for. Slipstream effect down this one. A good exit out of turn 9, I believe this is. Can get you the position you need to be in for the solid left-hander. Knuckles to the outside, trying a different approach. This is it. Last few corners, I think Artie might have enough done here to hold the victory. Last corner now, onto the final corner, onto the straight. Artie Thump's going to have this run and done. Easy win for Artie. Close win there, second spot there from Knuckles. Mountain Goat will take third. Big drive from Lenosis, just couldn't make the speed towards the end of the race, but he still holds on to fourth. Stickers for fifth, he'll be happy with that one. Old Wakey for sixth. Big drive from Berry, maybe used a little bit too much tyre in the beginning of the stint. Big drive from Superfly as well, with the off in the beginning of the race.
Back here.
It's 3 wide there for Bumcrack, Race Fan and NASCAR. But not much happened other than Artie getting around Knuckles and just holding him off for the rest of the race. So very good win there for Artie.
I got back just in time to see the last corner.
Well, that's round 3 over. Spa next. Catalonia this round did not disappoint. That's going to be some big points for CJ Esports. Knuckles missed the first round, but he'll be happy with the second. Very well done. What we should do is recap the race results. I didn't do that in the first one. It does come in handy for when you put the championship points in. So, as you can see, in first place, Artie Thump. Second, we had Knuckles. Mountain Goat come home in third. Lenosis in fourth. Stickers in fifth. Old Bakey in sixth. Berry in seventh. Superfly in eighth. Black Project in ninth. Race Fan in 10th. Mr. Bumcrack in 11th. NASCAR in 12th. The Brev in 13th. And the Kazi one rounds out the 14 with the fastest lap on lap 14 going to Mountain Goat with a 1:43.699. Well, did you find your dog?
Yeah, he dug under the fence, a little pain in the ass. Anyone want a dog?
It's not a little dog, is it?
No, not that one. The other one.
Oh, you got another one.
I've got two. It's a Kelpie Labrador.
All right. Well, I don't need any more dogs. Mine are pains in the butt enough. So that's going to change the championship order around a little bit. We will get that up in the next night, tonight, maybe tomorrow night. See how I feel. Driver of the day, yes. Let's see. Who do you think was driver of the day for chat? What do we got? Goatee. Yeah, I think Goat did a really good job tonight. Artie Thump as well. So I'm gonna give it to Goat. Got knocked back a little bit at the start there, made his way back through the field, back up to third, and a few more laps potentially. Might have caught onto the front guys, just run out of time. And I think a few are going towards Goat there too, so. Where are we next? Spa. I've already mentioned that about 4 times tonight, so we're going to Spa next. That's going to be a good one. Group A will be... Well, actually, what we should do is... we do have a bit of a break now, don't we? So, just over Christmas. From what I can see, the 23rd of January. So we are looking at nearly a month. So it'll be a good few weeks off. It is Christmas. Everyone needs a break. Like to thank D-Flow and Lucas for jumping in the box with me tonight. It's been a while since I've been in here, and it seems we've sorted the sounds out pretty good. Thank you to all the viewers for jumping in, having a bit of a chat. Thanks to all our sponsors too, Next Level Racing, Auto One, and Aussie Hampton. They make the stream look really good on stream, and we will be back in about 4 weeks, which I was just mentioning then would be the 23rd of January. We are going to Spa for Champs. Group A, it'll be the Next Level Supercup and the Porsche Challenge Group A, boys. Going to be unleashing hell around Spa, so big drive for you, Mountain Goat. Driver of the day, Womble, he says. Well done. Good to see you turning up the wick. But I think that just about rounds us out for tonight. We're going to make this short and sweet. It is now 9:30. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks to the boys for jumping in the box. Any last words, Lucas?
No, I'm about to go down and fix my dog enclosure again, so yay.
Alright, so all of you that are ready for the intro and outro music, get ready to turn your music down apparently. Alright, talk to you all next week. Oh, sorry, 4 weeks. Getting ahead of himself. Have a good break, have a good Christmas, and we'll see you when we get back.
Thanks, guys.